Hi everybody. Today I will test a new device that I purchased for my Land Rover. It's a Micro-Start XP10. It's a jump starter and a personal power supply by a company named Antigravity, and it's a small device that I purchased because I wanted something to carry with me in case the battery of the car dies on me when I'm in the desert or somewhere where there is no easy way to jump start a car with another vehicle. I do have a jump and carry JC660, which is a much bigger device that I carry with me when I go off-road. The problem with that is that, of course, it is a big device, so I don't have it with me all the time. I carry it when I go off-roading, but you know, the one time that my battery might die, I might not have it with me. This one here is very small, weighs maybe 3-4 pounds, including the pouch. And so I can stow it under the seat of my car and have it with me all the time. The device is complete with just about everything you could possibly want to both jumpstart the car and power up a laptop, recharge a phone, recharge a tablet, a bunch of other devices, because it includes a bunch of adapters for it. The main part of the kit is the little battery, which is really tiny, as you can see. It's weighs maybe 2-3 pounds, which is hard to believe. This thing is going to start a big 5-liter V8 gasoline engine like my Land Rover, but we'll test it in a minute and see. It's got a number of connections, USB ports, that you can use with this octopus, for example, to recharge a phone, an iPod, an iPad. It includes several different ends for it, micro USB, mini USB, lightning adapter for the newer iPads and iPhones, and then the old-fashioned 30-pin adapter for the older iPhones and iPads, and the USB over here that you would connect to one of these two inputs over here to charge or power up your phone or tablet. And then it's got a small adapter over here that you can connect to either this port here, 17 volts, or 12 volts or 19 volts to power up a number of computers, such as laptops. And to that purpose, there are a bunch of different ends and adapters over here that you can connect to mate it to a number of computers from different manufacturers, such as Dell, AP, Acer, Asus, and so forth. But the reason why I really bought it, of course, there's an adapter, there's a charger over here. You can charge it either with AC at home, or you can charge it in the car. When you're running the car, you can just charge this battery while you're running, so you'll always have it charged. It holds a charge for approximately 6 months, or so the manual says. I'm gonna check every 3 months, more or less, to make sure that the battery is fully charged, just to make sure it never discharges while I have it in the car for too long. You can check the charge by just pushing this light over here. This will tell you if the battery is fully charged. All these 6 blue dots will light up if the battery is fully charged, and if they're not, then only a number of dots will light up, and you know if the battery needs to be recharged or not. See if you can see it better. In addition to that, there's also a little flashlight. Just push this button for 3 seconds and the battery lights up in a variety of different blinking patterns for emergencies. It's very powerful. Okay? But what I want to do now is connect the charger to a discharged battery. To simulate a discharged battery, I'm going to open up the hood of my LR4, disconnect the lid of the battery completely, so to simulate a completely dead battery, and then connect this little device with the provided jump starter over here. To the two disconnected lid of the batteries, and see if the power of this by itself, without any auxiliary power from a partially dead battery, is sufficient to start the car. And I'm going to try it several times, not just once, to see how many times I can start a big V8. The one problem I see is that these things here are kind of flimsy and small. They're nothing like the JC660 that I have, that I keep, but you know, this is not designed to be used by a shop. It's designed for personal use in case of an emergency, so I didn't expect them to be heavy duty. These little things are made of plastic, so chances are that they wouldn't last in a shop if you kept using them on and off. But like I said, for occasional use, emergency use, hopefully this will do the trick. and we'll figure it out in a second. So I'm going to open the hood, disconnect the negative and positive battery from leads from the battery of the car, and then we're going to connect this, start the car, and see if the engine starts. Okay, I disconnected the battery now. As you can see, I'm not a very well-equipped shop over here, so I use some knee pads to isolate the negative and the positive lead from the main battery. As some of you might know, I also have an auxiliary battery. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see it on the other side of the car, right over there. So I disconnected that as well, so that basically the main battery is isolated. There is no auxiliary power provided by that, and the car at this point is completely dead. There is no power going through it. Let's connect the little XP-10 to the two leads and see if we can start the engine. One issue you may run in if you have a real large battery is that these two leads are not very long. For the LR4 or the battery on the LR4, they're long enough, especially since you're not going to start a car like this on a regular basis, obviously. This is just for a test, but the two leads are going to be attached to the battery, and so you're going to be able to reach them just about right. However, you don't have a lot of length to play with over here, and this thing is probably going to be the thing you have to be most careful about. Since the battery is completely dead, there is absolutely no lights over here. I'm going to touch this little button over here that says boost to boost up the power of this to the max for the car. This green light is going to turn on if the polarity is correct. If the polarity is incorrect, this one automatically will say that the polarity is wrong, is not going to allow either the battery or the device over here to get damaged. So let's touch this, and then we got about 30 seconds to start the car. There you go. Lights are blinking. Let's go and start the engine, see what happens. Okay, engine started, no problem. Let's disconnect it. I assume these wires are going to be warm, if they are a little bit, so we're going to give it a little bit of downtime and then reconnect them and start it one more time. See how many starts we can get consecutively, and if this battery is able to take it. Let's check the charge right now. It still shows fully charged, so it should be no problem starting it again, but let's just wait a few minutes and start it one more time. Okay, a couple of minutes have gone by. Let's try it again. Push the boost button, light is on. Let's start the engine again. Again, no problem. I had the feeling I'm probably going to be able to start the engine at least another 10-15 times before the charger over here, the starter, starts having problem because it's not enough juice. So this is plenty good for an LR4 with a 5-liter V8 engine, and I assume it's going to be plenty good for most other cars out there, including probably small trucks with diesel engines up to 6 liters. That's what it says on the brochure. But pretty impressive for a battery that you can almost literally fit in your pocket. And like I said, you can carry under. I put it under the center seat of my LR4 in its pouch so that I always have it with me in an emergency. Very, very impressed by it. The one weak link is this little thing over here that connects to the battery, but like I said, if you're going to use it on an emergency basis only, you're not going to worry too much about how weak these things are. They're doing the job, as it's obvious by the video, and I recommend that you carry one with you all the time, especially if you're going to go off-roading. You won't need any more jump starter cables. You won't need to carry any larger device like a jump and carry that, like I said, I carried with me all the time in the past. Now I don't have to worry about leaving it in the garage when I'm not going off-roading. I'll always have this one with me. I hope this helps. It's about $129 from a vendor on eBay, and it's available from other vendors as well. Antigravity makes some smaller battery starters, smaller devices, but for this V8 engine I thought I would spend the extra money and go with the XP-10 here, which is a little bit larger, but carries up to 600 peak amps of starting capacity. So there should be plenty for larger engines such as the one on my car.